Hello friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back folks. I hope you are having a fabulous day. If you do not know who I am an autistic teen content creator and I make videos about autism and stuff. Let's get into the video. Today, I am making a video about being bilingual. We're going to talk about some things about being bilingual, some autism aspects of being bilingual, and perks and things that help. So for some context, I moved to a place where they completely speak a different language than what I knew when I was like in the 4th grade. I had to kind of learn a new language completely. I knew like a few words, but really not a lot. So when I first came here, a lot of people told me like, you're just gonna wake up one day and you're gonna know the language, like gonna wake up and one day understand everything. And they kind of lied, because that's not at all what happened to me. It was a very slow and tedious process. Lots of trial and error, and it's really not fun when you're like a smaller child because, you know, kids are stupid, okay? Kids are kind of stupid and mean. Like, speaking of like people being stupid, I made a total fool of myself, and I still do. I make so many mistakes because, listen, I'm like 75 to 80% fluent in my second language, and I still make a fool of myself. I actually have 2 stories for you, two stories about me making a fool of myself when I was beginning to learn my second language. I went to my little sibling's class because my little sibling wanted me to teach her friends in her class how to make a fortune teller, like one of these things. I was like, okay, sure. So I went downstairs to her classroom. I was showing them where I was folding the paper, and instead of using the word for fold, I used the word fart. So I said, you fart the paper like this, you fart the paper like that. And I didn't realize why everyone was laughing and like freaking out until like someone who spoke English told me and was like, you're not saying fold. And I was like, oh no. I think I was like in the 4th grade. A second one is less funny. Kind of, wow, yeah, not my finest moment. So in my class, a lot of kids would use a specific word, and I thought it was like, oh, you're so annoying, or like being like, oh, come on, like, you know, like that kind of word. So I would use it a lot. And 2 years after that, being in that class, I realized the whole entire time I had been saying the R word in the second language. Yeah. Not my finest moment. I also don't know why a bunch of 4th graders were calling each other the R word. 'Tis what it is, I guess. The next thing is my confidence in my second language is very different. Like, I used to be a lot more self-conscious and a lot less confident, but I am slowly working on it and building confidence because I'm like very confident in English, and in my second language, not so much. I think English is a very stupid language. There's like, it doesn't make any sense. There's so many exceptions to so many rules, and it just makes no sense. And I don't understand how people learn English. Like, I just know English because I grew up in an English-speaking household and, you know, lived in an English-speaking state. I don't understand how people learn English because it makes no sense. Like, all the rules make no sense. In my second language, there's a lot of like all gendered language, which, you know, has pros and cons, because pros is that it makes a lot more sense than in English, but also the cons is that like you gotta remember the gender of every item. So like tables apparently have genders. I don't know, gendered language is weird. Like, why does a box have to have a gender, and why do I need to use the correct and not my favorite part. Another part of like gendered language is because the different like words that you use when you're talking to a male or a female or a bunch of males or a bunch of females or just a bunch of people is different. So because most of my learning of my second language came from girls, I don't know how to talk to boys. I don't know how to. I mean, I could. Listen, I know like in my subconscious what words and what language to use, but in practice, it always fails me. On public transportation, or if I'm like at a store and I like ask a dude, if there's like a dude bus driver, I'll just say the completely wrong things. Yeah, that's like one of the cons where I'm just like, it's too confusing, guys. Oh yeah, also something, which I don't know if anyone relates to this. I've only talked to one other person who's bilingual and they said they related to this. I still feel like I have like a different personality in my second language. Like I have my OG personality, my original personality, which is this one in English. And then when I speak my second language, I feel like I have a different personality, and it's like not something I can turn on or off. It's just how it is. It's weird. Like I've been slowly working on trying to be myself in my second language and like be my, like, try to, like, you know, express myself the same way I would express myself in English, but it's very hard because my vocabulary is very broad in English, and in my second language it really isn't. I have like the vocabulary of a like 7-year-old. In my first language I have very like broad, nice vocabulary and like certain phrases that I use and stuff, and that stuff just really doesn't translate to my second language, which is kind of sad. Phase 2 of the video, we are talking about the autism aspects of being bilingual. The first one is facial expressions and body language, because a lot of communicating in, like, verbally communicating with people is body language and facial expressions. And guess what I'm bad at? Body language and facial expressions. I have a friend who was like, yeah, I can't really understand everyone 100% of the time in my second language, but I can kind of get what they're trying to get at because of their body language. And I was like, oh. I personally rely very heavily on what people are saying with their actual words. So if I get confused with what people are saying in my second language, that's all I got. Like, I can't be like, oh, they're communicating this because this is what expression they're using. Everyone's got like their toolbox of tools, and I'm like missing some like important tools, which, you know, can be hard. Another one is, okay, this is also related to facial expressions. So a lot of times in English, which I'm completely confident and fluent in, people will sometimes make like weird faces of something that I said because, you know, might not be socially acceptable or might be weird. I don't know. Happens sometimes. And then I'll be like, why'd you make that face? And they're like, I didn't make a face. What? I made a face. And I'm like, bro. Or like, oh, what did I do? They're like, oh, nothing. It's fine. I'm not going to know unless you tell me. So with my second language, if people make a weird face when I'm like talking to them or talking around them, it's constantly like a 50-50 chance. Like, did they make that face just because of something weird I said? Was it a grammar mistake? And anytime I ask them, they'll be like, nope, you're fine, you're good. And I'm like, very obviously not, because you just made, anyways, it's complicated. It's another autism aspect of being bilingual. The third and last one of the second phase is when I'm overstimulated or overwhelmed, I have a really hard time talking to my second language. Like if I'm panicking or like there's an emergency going on, like I can't think of all the words to say to my second language, so I am probably going to say it in English. So like you know, like when I'm overstimulated, it can be hard to verbalize in English, which is my first language. So how in the world am I supposed to verbalize in my second language? So yeah, that can be complicated sometimes where I'm like, I can't use words, I'm sorry. Yeah, which can be, you know, kind of frustrating if I'm in a space where I'm like freaking out and there's only people who know who know the second language that I speak, and then I'm just like, we are on phase 3 of the video. Perks of being bilingual. Okay, so perk numero uno. My second language isn't Spanish. I can actually, I can dream in both languages. I have dreams in both my first language and my second language. It's very cool. The second one is people think I'm really cool for speaking English. Like they think I'm some kind of superhero. They're like, oh my God, you know the secret of the universe. You know English. And I'm like, yup. The third one is I have double the curse words. Just gonna spice it up a little bit over there, you know? The fourth and last one is I have a secret language. If people around me only know my second language, I have a secret language in my first language. If people around me only know my first language, I have a secret language in my second language. So yeah, that's fun. I can sometimes communicate and people won't understand what I'm saying. Last phase of the video, 4 things that help or things that have helped me in general with my bilingual experience. One is letting people know that I'm not 100% fluent in my second language if they only know my second language. So sometimes I'll just start off conversations being like, this is not my second language, but I'm trying my best. And usually they're just like, yep, okay, cool beans. Straight up say that so that people know to be patient and just patient and nice and understanding. But the second one that helps me is this is something that I keep in mind when I am feeling self-conscious about not being 100% fluent in my second language. So I always think to myself, like when I see someone whose first language isn't English and they're trying their very best to speak English, I think that's so cool. I think that's such a positive, and I am not judgmental of them at all. And I always think, like, that's cool that they're doing their best. So I try to keep that in mind, that when that I think that about other people, so I should assume that's what other people are thinking about me when I'm speaking in my second language. So yeah, that is all of the phases of the video. We are done with the video. The list is done. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you maybe learned something new. So if you're related to any of the experiences that I mentioned in this video, or just want to ask me questions about autism, you can do so in the comments. I will hopefully answer them. I hope you have a beautiful day, my darlings. Subscribe if you want. I don't know. Okay, bye!
You made it this far, now you get some bloopers. Let's go!
Flowery language. And, oh, hi, Dad. Hi. So I always think to myself, like when I see someone who English is their not, whose language, whose first language,